Good afternoon, family. No, we ready. We ready. Okay. Good afternoon, family. We're here on this special day. Um, Today is the anniversary of the assassination of. We now talk. We in? Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Today, family. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm hoping folks tune in because we told y'all we was gonna come in, but if not, we here for a special day. Today is the anniversary of the death of Brother Malcolm X, who was assassinated February 21st, 1965, in an Audubon ballroom in Harlem, New York. Um, and the most honorable eulogy I've ever heard was one done by Ossie Davis, who knew him as well, the actor Ossie Davis, who coined the phrase in his passing, "Our shining black prince." So, all homage and prayers to the family of the remaining family of Minister Malcolm X, we also known as El Haj Malik El Shabazz. Um, and that just goes to show you his life goes to show you the power of transformation when we choose to want to change, right? So, just a little bit of background about his life. Go read the book, the autobiography of Malcolm X. Minimally go see the movie. It's on Prime, and you can watch it on Prime for free. Malcolm X. It's on Prime, and you can see it there. And really, when he was a young man, before a lot of atrocious things happened, he wanted to be a lawyer. And he had a teacher and that told him that your kind will never be a lawyer. And so therefore he dropped out of school. Found the streets, decided that he was going to run the streets and do all of this other stuff in the streets until he got caught. And then after he got caught, he served some time in prison. And in prison, he found um, Nation of Islam. From there, he cleaned himself up with the help of, according to movie, Brother Baines, but we know there was a conglomeration of characters, and he learned how to read. He learned how to read by reading a dictionary. All right. So now this is this brilliant boy who left school in the 8th grade, and then he transformed himself through discipline and honor and just wanting to learn until one of the most um, well-spoken, well-learned, studied men of our modern era. So, our homage to him. Another brother that I want to pay homage to, his birthday was February 17th, is Dr. Huey P. Newton, who was a founding member of the Black Panther Party in 1966, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. So let's be real clear. What they did was they patrolled the police because the police had like now you got people that record and all this other stuff, even though that doesn't stop the brutality, doesn't stop the killing, but they were policing and patrolling the police. And the party became such a large, very important part of the revolutionary process that it spread, of course, throughout the world. So Dr. Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale started the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense in 1966 in Oakland, California. Huey P. Newton was killed in 1989. There's varying ideals about why. For the longest, until recently, we found out it was a very long time before they found the killer, and maybe I could be wrong, but you know, the mere fact that he was kind of targeted, um, and his death was prominent and important back then when it happened. He was supposed to be killed in a drug deal go wrong. Who knows? It may have been a setup. Who knows? I don't know. There are varying stories about that. But he would have been 87, I believe, today, had he still been alive. So thank you to both those gentlemen. We pay homage to both of them for Huey P. Newton and his decision to be a revolutionary for the people, and for Brother Minister Malcolm X for being also a revolutionary for the people. And those are examples of men that, if we choose to follow those examples, you can see that they uplifted themselves and uplifted us as well because of their dedication to the liberation of African people. Last note on Dr. Newton. He had a PhD in sociology, and he also helped write a science book that I had an opportunity to take a look at, and it was a well-written science book. So he had his PhD in sociology. So again, it shows us young people that if you take a deeper look into these lives of these people that we claim that we follow, that there's much more to them and much more we can learn and glean from them if we so choose to do so. All right. So now, me and Uncle Mick was talking about some stuff going on earlier. This goes, all of this stuff that's happening in our community is all tied back to this letter. It's all tied back to the system. It's all so as much as we want to say this stuff doesn't exist, as much as we want to say that this is not this and not me and this and that and other, we live in a system that has been designed on multiple layers, multiplicative layers, to make sure that we don't ever achieve the things we desire to achieve. Right. Now, the latest news is the insanity about kicking out some seniors on the north side of Flint in a senior center that have been there for the longest time, and removing them and doing who knows what with the center. Now, when my sister was alive, we had gone to the center, same senior type center, over in Flushing. Mm-hmm. You would have never heard this type of talk. No. You'd never heard this type of talk.
I agree with
you. You know, we go in there and the place is plush. Like, it's plush. It's like, you go in there and you're like, man, this is like a country club. Mm-hmm. And whatever monies the city of Flushing or wherever they get their monies from, the seniors, as they use the center, they were taken care of. I don't know what it is that we are not getting. Oh yeah, there we go. Now my big brother's up here with me. Now we kicking it for real. What it is that we're missing in how we're treating each other. And there's absolutely no way. I'm going to say it again. This man right here, am I pointing at you? Yeah, there we go. You're right there.
Facts.
That's my brother. We met, maybe 6 months ago? Mm-hmm. And then probably in the past, we've run across each other. But that's my brother. Why? What do we have to fight about? That I'm not going to ever speak to him again. Nothing. There's nothing in the world. Now, we may differ on how we try to attain some liberation. You know, he may have a view, I may have a view, but it's all about getting liberated, no matter what. Well, I don't care, bro. If you let's try your deal and let's make it work. Why? What is this insanity? Unless people have what's your reasoning for this level of unconscionable insanity that we constantly have in our community?
Crazy.
Yeah, it's just insane, right? So, I mean, the center's okay. It ain't like the one in Flushing. I promise you that. They're not being taken care of like the one in Flushing. I promise you that. I don't know. And see, no, I am going to fuss at them a little bit. Because I keep trying to Tell him, man, let me know that, because this my man, he's a reporter, right? Let me know the next time y'all gonna go down to a meeting. He always tell me, it's not worth your time.
Right.
And that's sad. That's insane to be told that to go to a council meeting that are supposed to be the meetings of the minds, and being able to be the driving force between uplifting what we have as this city, in any city, and to be told you'll come out and lose some brain cells because you're going to waste your time and not learn anything from it. It's just going to be a waste of time. It's like you got a bunch of kids arguing over toys.
And that's what it is. Like I said, it's been too many personal. We let our personal emotions get caught up in it. And when, you know what I'm saying, you don't know how to pull back. Even I've been a victim from that. You know what I'm saying, been caught up in that. Like, that'd be my worstest regret be, like, I let somebody see me lose my cool. Because that's what I try to play. Like, I can be cool up under some of the coldest pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be like, sometimes you got to put your little pettiness to the side. But you can't do that. It's like, to me, what I seen, like you talking about, it's that Willie Lynch letter. And I think people they want to deny that letter.
Right.
Because they can't see themselves as being coons.
In a system that has built and made billions and billions and billions or trillions of dollars on the oppression of people, there's absolutely no way we cannot see how we play a part in the system. The system is not built and or designed for us to operate within it with any lucrative, being able to make money, be comfortable, without being able to say, I'm going to create. Because capitalism, right? The whole idea behind capitalism is there's a few of us that make money, and there's everybody else that's below us. And it may trickle down some, but those really down below us, we're going to keep them down. Right? So that's the whole idea. And there's multiple layers of this ideology that's all about making sure that, nobody makes money but a few people.
Right. Like now, we you know what I'm saying? We having our debates, because I seen some, like what Trump did yesterday. Did you see where he honored Black History Month?
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, to me, it's distractions from what's really going on. We say, oh, he racist, Joe Biden, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's like we getting caught up in rich people politics.
We get caught up in chasing breadcrumbs for nothing.
Right, and because, like, don't get me wrong, I watch. I ain't gonna lie and say I watch Roland Martin much as I used to. I don't watch him as much as I used to no more, because it's like when you start seeing and you saying like, damn, Roland, you was getting paid for the Democratic Party, so of course you're gonna be pushing their agenda. No different from a black that's a Republican that's getting money, he gonna push that agenda.
Right.
And that's what you said, like with the crumbs, but we never sit down and try to build our own. Like, how did we lose trying to have something for self?
Because we decided we wanted to integrate with somebody, and they had a plan for the integration. They had a plan. They were okay. See, you make me take my glasses off, my brother. The plan, they marketed back in the 30s.
Right.
With cars, number one, what was the big car? Cadillac. And then they started marketing other things, other appliances, just for black people, on purpose. Because when we had our own separate towns, back in the 20s, up until early parts of the 30s, before they were completely absorbed, and we had urban renewal, which now they call gentrification.
Right.
We had stores even here on the south side over there by where the Golden Leaf is and Old Clark School is. Now it's an empty lot. All that was black. 64, 65, 66. They decided to run 475 through there, split the neighborhood, which is what they do, right? That's called urban renewal. But we had already sold our interest out because we wanted to be like some. We want to have the white picket fence, but we don't want to build it.
Right.
Right? So we've given our power, our economic power. Remember the letter that I read after, at the end, that said, and it was just some parody talking about some white people, and it was really like they were like, oh, we're glad that you gave us 95% of your income, so we're living off 195% of the money that circulates in this country. They had how they say it, an overplay for the underlay, right? So they had a plan for, oh yeah, y'all want to be with us, no problem. So we'll just, we'll use you for whatever we need to use you for. However, no matter how decadent and low level, all the way to, oh, okay, now you can marry or whatever, and people do what they do, marry who they marry, whatever.
Yeah.
I get it. Not my cup of tea, but I get it. Because that's just spirit, and people's spirit find somebody else's. But we gave everything away.
Right.
So now we're trying to play in a party. We're trying to play at the party that we're not into.
Right. No, I get it. But that's why I think but we don't know how to play the game.
No.
Still, at the end of the day, all these great people like you were just naming some, we done had some great ones come through here.
Yeah.
Still got some great ones here. But to me, it's like you just see little pockets where, like here, it's so much to be fighting for, but yet we'll fight amongst each other.
Yeah, but so what did the letter say at the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. You pit the old against the young, the tall against the short,
right.
Dark against the light,
right.
the lighter hair against the coarse hair.
Right.
Right? So once you put those things in place and you do it 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 years, 365 days a year for 300 plus years, the system starts to perpetuate it, right?
Yeah.
We always talk about, and we mention this a lot, all the time, and have mentioned this a lot. What happened in 1984 with Rwanda and Burundi, where one group, because when the Dutch pulled out, they said, you better than this group, and so that group slaughtered 800,000 people in 100 days. Same thing. It's psychological. Because everybody said this. Dr. Naeem Akbar, Malcolm said it. You take the chains off physically, but the shackles have always remained on us mentally. Because we don't want to study.
Got you.
We don't study anything. What we study is, we'll just study some stuff off the YouTube. That's cool. But that stuff should lead you to go study let me grab this book. Let me grab that book, right? So when we had conscious rap in the late 80s, 90s, X-Clan, KRS-One, Public Enemy, Poor Righteous Teachers, Arrested Development, the Fugees, or whoever, a bunch of them, they was talking about people. They're talking about people. Let me go read about this. If they kicking it like this, and I'm rocking with what they talking about. Who's Sonny Carson? Who is? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, they don't want that. Because if you even go back to, like they said, J. Edgar Hoover, remember he said he didn't want the rise of a black messiah.
Absolutely.
So you got to see why they attack so many conscious.
Absolutely.
When you being woke up.
Right.
If you look at some of this stuff, what they calling woke, is people really woke?
No, they're not really woke, because if you're really woke, you would shut your mouth. I mean, here's my thing. All right, let me explain something.
Yes, sir.
If we did in 1955, from 1955, December 1st, 1955, to December 31st, 1966, and we decided we were not going to take a bunch of buses and a bunch of public transportation or whatever, because white Montgomery didn't want us to be on their buses, so we pooled together. We pooled our resources. That's a real boycott.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not into. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what black people gonna do. February 28th, they're telling us don't go to these stores. February 27th though, and 26th I'm going.
25th.
and 25th and 26th. All of them days leading up to the 28th. I'm going to go to them stores and load up. So then, come on, man, because that's how we think. If
Right.
you want to do a boycott for real, say we're not going anywhere. We're not spending. Now, unfortunately, because we work for these people, they're going to say, well, you lose your job. Then what?
Nah, you hear that. Now this one you hear, but now this one the game get real tricky.
Right.
As they say, it get tricky like a ref with a whistle.
See?
This one it get tricky at because you know the person gonna tell, I gotta feed my family.
I got to feed my family,
You
right?
knew you had to feed your family before you jumped in this mess.
Right.
You didn't know that the end game is they gonna come attack you for your job.
And anyway, so what are we doing? Once again, we're complaining about the Department of Education, but you got people here that are willing to say, look, we can do an after-school program somewhere. But I guess you got to take care of me.
Did you watch the school board meeting?
No. Oh, my God. I didn't watch it. See, that's what I keep telling y'all, man. This is my brother. But he tell me afterwards. But I'm quite sure it wasn't worth going to see anyway.
Okay, boy, Kim, this is what Anna said. I'm going to work versus buying something or two different things. Just because you work at Target and decided not to put your dollars toward Target, it is what it is.
I get it. But and you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Go read the book Powernomics by Claude Anderson. So whether you work at Target or not, if you feel that this boycott is worth something, take the day off. Now, there might be some repercussions because they know what's happening and they've already lost $15.8 billion because of people finding out that they don't have this DEI program.
Mm-hmm.
But then where's the black stores at? Where's somebody? Because there's the other part about that. So if somebody decides that they want to open up a store to challenge Target, you got to be able to get the building or get the land or get the materials and all this other stuff because we're behind, right? Mm-hmm. So if they lost $15 billion in the last 30 days, where's that $15 billion at? Are we taking it to Walmart? Because Walmart may not be on or Sam's Club or whatever. I mean, but if you're going to do a boycott, do it for real.
Yeah.
Do it for real. Those people had in the 50s and 55, 56, they were still going to their jobs.
Yeah.
But what they did was boycotted public transportation.
Right.
Because public transportation said, you can pay and get on. I'm going to move you to the back of the bus. Right. And if white people still continue to get on the bus, I'm going to keep your money and kick you off the bus. And you got to wait for the next one. Black people said, that's not happening no more.
Right. See, that's what I think people get misconstrued. Because I know a lot of people was mad at me, because even when I was listening at the school board recording it, when they was bringing up DEI, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the superintendent, he bringing it up and, you know, saying how they basically, you going to defy ISIS. I get it.
What'd she say?
She said you at least need 45 to 90 days.
My baby.
Really
that's it. Thank you.
Blank, you need 6 months to even try to make it a dent.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now it gets to like what we was talking about with Roland Martin doing what he's saying.
Right.
We gonna do this. You talking about one
day, and then one day in March, and one day in that's it. Right. Because you're being sensational instead of you're talking about let's really make a dent in some stuff. Now, here's the thing. At what point in time do we say, where's that $15 billion that they lost?
Yeah.
Now, is that in our pockets?
Right.
If it's in our pockets, then we can buy several buildings, because even around here, they're empty buildings. Right. We can buy several buildings and start our own store.
Right.
But because in the 50s, we own things.
Right.
And we own stores and we own homes, it worked.
Right.
It's going to be difficult if you don't own anything, because only thing you're doing is withholding money from them.
For today.
For today. One day. But on the 1st of March, you right back on over there.
Yeah.
And they're going to get their money back. All because of a DEI program? Well, then what do you do? The big deal is, who cares about that stuff?
Right.
Start your own. But it's difficult because guess what? We don't support our own. 195% of the money that we get here goes to somebody else.
Yeah, most definitely.
It goes to somebody else.
Definitely.
Where at one time in the 50s when we did the bus boycott, that 95% was ours.
Right, it was. Right. But that's what I'm saying. You gotta have the right people leading the fight. To me, we ain't got the right people leading the fight. We got a lot of people who leading the fight got personal agendas, and I'm gonna still believe that.
No, absolutely, because nobody. One of Dr. UAP Newton's books. It's called Revolutionary Suicide. Bro, when I read that, I was fan. I mean, at that time I was married, and I was like, this is what we about. Yeah. This is what we have to be about.
Yeah.
It's not about me and me using people to get over. No, it's about us uplifting people.
But we ain't. But see, that's what is crazy. We're not using that for that. That letter. We going with the tear down factor.
Yeah.
Look at it, man. you see so much pettiness going on, and we study wondering why we stuck in neutral.
Right.
We stuck in neutral because the ones who are so-called ahead of the curve, they not trying to reach back and do this.
They're not ahead of the curve.
They are.
Because they sleeping with strange bedfellows.
Facts.
Okay. Yeah. What do they always say about politics?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Politics make strange
bedfellows. Yes.
Yeah.
So
you're
you
right.
can't sit around here and talk about, and I'm not saying what you're right.
Yeah.
I'm ahead of the curve. No, you're not.
Right.
What curve you on?
Right.
Because eventually somebody gonna cash you in. You got to come see me.
Right.
I don't need to see you.
Right.
What you talking about?
Right.
No.
Right.
Be over. There's a certain time and a certain appointed place I need you to be at.
Right.
And if you refuse, I got so much dirt on you that there's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, because they walk you right into the field.
They tell you what the deal is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what the deal is right off the rip at the
Right.
beginning.
Right.
Hey, if you get on over here with me, there's eventually it's everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you right on
If
that.
it's everywhere,
Yeah.
eventually you got to pay the piper.
Oh yeah.
However you want to call it.
Because they be thinking they ain't reinventing the wheel.
No.
Let's be honest.
No.
But they acting like
For
how
what?
money became in politics. Money been in politics.
You don't have politics. That's the whole point of the exercise.
Yeah.
Listen, people, Halliburton in the Iraq War, but the last 2000, whichever one it was. It might have been in Afghanistan, whichever one it was. But okay, but let's just go to the Gulf spill that they spilled the oil in the Gulf with BP oil, right?
Gotcha.
Halliburton, who was owned by Dick Cheney, they made $11 billion in the cleanup in 30 days. $11 billion.
Oh, don't stop there. Let's go back a little further. Remember LBJ?
Of course.
Vietnam. Didn't he have his trucks?
He had his trucks over there too. All of these things, people, listen. There's a book, and I'm gonna keep on pressing on y'all to go study because y'all not studying. See, y'all sitting in class but not doing no work in class. There's a book that was written in the 70s by this author. I can't remember his name, but I know the book. It's called None Dare Call It Conspiracy. And his premise is that all wars are about making money. So the war that we have that's going on in our community is about making money. The war that goes on in the world, so wherever else, is about making money. His premise also was you have one person playing both sides of the board in order to get paid. So if they lose, I still win. If they win, I still win. No matter what.
Right. That's how the game is.
That's how the game is.
Yeah, when you go look at it, it's like, to me, it's crazy. To me, it's crazy. We playing, we not going. I just think we got the people who leading this charge is the wrong people. But
there's no accountability.
Right.
So there's no accountability. There's no, if you don't start to produce, within a short period of time, then we need to remove you right now. You know,
Right.
not that I get the term limits thing that they talked about before for upper congressmen or whatever, but for local stuff, you got 30 days to show that you mean well for the people. I'm not giving you 6 months a year. You got 30 days.
That's how crazy that it is. And then when you saying how many people not, see the key thing, we ain't looking at how many people not participating in this voting thing in Flint.
Yeah.
Because when you saying certain people, man, it's only like a handful who really getting like maybe 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one or two. You know what I'm saying?
So
and that was Eric was getting really the most votes.
Right. Because anybody. You know he knew people. And you vote for him because you knew him, and whether he could get things done and shake it and make it happen. Right. But at least he would talk to you.
Yeah,
I ain't talked to my person one time in the store, twice voting and in the store. But anyway,
but I mean, you know, because a lot of them not really people person. But
you have to be because you're serving me.
But you know what? No, let me rephrase that. No, they people. They serving the area that's voting for them. Like if you go look at Liddell, she be hollering about Cyrus Park. You know what I'm saying? They keeping her in there. You looking at Candace. Okay. Candace looking at over. Don't get me wrong, she in the second ward, but that's Cyrus because I'm probably a lot of voters over there.
Right.
You looking at Candace. Candace, don't get me wrong, she clearly is over there a lot.
Over here, I ain't seen her over where I said.
No, I'm saying by the college mop.
Oh,
that area. You know what I'm saying? That area of the south side.
Okay.
Because I ain't seen her in the valley. I ain't seen her in the States.
None of that.
You know, but she be in that area over there by the college. So you seeing what crowd she catering to because that's a strong voting base over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And which is crazy because it's not the biggest part of the south side.
No, it's not. Or where I stay at is the biggest part of the south side.
And that's what's crazy that that side is controlling the whole seventh ward.
Yeah. And and of course they're gonna have her ear because they're gonna, which is now we hear about a new central coming up.
Yeah.
Because they want that. And they were talking about closing Pierce. They're not gonna let that happen.
Right.
They're not going to because that's their area that they can have always control. I'm surprised they let Pierce Park, that used to be a golf course, turn into this wildlife thing they talking about. It's cool.
Right.
But it used to be a golf course, and it was at one time exclusive. Only with people that lived over in that area could go over there and play.
Mm.
Right. I didn't know that till one day going over there with my dad, and they kind of stopped and paused and looked at him until he walked into the building where you go get your tea time and all that other stuff, and the guy knew him, but folks was looking at him and looking at me like, what are y'all doing here?
Wow.
Yeah. But
people don't see that though.
Yeah. But why are we, and I get people's agenda, because most people's agenda is not for people.
No, it ain't.
Most people's agenda is not for serving the people.
Right.
And it's okay that you have your own, but don't dog other people out with what you have.
That's where I'm at with it. Because I'm like I said, I look at a lot of it, but a lot of our problem is because we don't trust each other.
Yeah, that's the system.
Yeah. It's like you go look at every other community. They do trust each other. Even they have their back. Every community, every group have their bad apples. Right. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
But it's like, but they know how to do community building, team building.
Yeah.
We don't know how to do team building in the black community.
That's because we've lost the resources and we've lost the desire to do that anymore because we want to live and be like somebody else that we figure live their ice is colder than ours.
Yeah.
And that's really it. So, again, in the early 60s, urban renewal cut right through where 475 is, headed to 75. That was all black. That was all black. Clark School, big, they graduating, they had 1,500 students in a school. Not 200 or 300, 1,500. It might have been 2,000 at one time.
Yeah, but that's what. But see, that's the thing when you saying and then look at the population of the city going down.
Yeah, but because what did you do? You pulled the financial base from it.
Yeah.
So that was a political move done by former administrators here who didn't, well, if you don't But there was also NAFTA, the North
Alabama.
American Free Trade Agreement, that allowed this to happen because what they want to do, like they doing in Europe, is have a common dollar here
Right.
in North and South America. In Europe, they did it, but we see what's happening over there.
Yeah.
The only reason why it's still working over there is because of war, not because people are believing that that currency is working. Because Greece is poor, not poor, poor.
Right.
See?
Right.
Greece is poor,
Yeah.
right? Because there's no translation there with them. But over here in other places, it's different, right? So
Right.
that North American Free Trade Agreement allowed the larger companies who the unions, because the union, everybody's in the same bed. When I heard this in the sidebar, and then we coming back, so I want
Right.
people to understand the last collective bargaining agreement, and then I heard the UAW bought stock, and it was blatantly on the news. Now, why would you put that out there? The UAW blatantly bought stock in the same companies that you are negotiating a strike against.
Right.
Okay. All right. And what she say?
Just a thought. I believe when you're told you don't have culture, you tend to not unite and know the values of traditions, culture, and beliefs in your own community.
Absolutely. You're absolutely on point. You're absolutely on point.
Yeah.
Absolutely on point. But if you look in the mirror, that should be the start of you finding and looking for your culture. No matter what. Whether it be Hispanic, whether it be Native American, whether it be African in America, I don't care. You should be looking for your culture. Now, I don't care what they tell you. Your spirit tells you something else. But you're absolutely right and you're absolutely on point. As a matter of fact, this morning, one of my brothers called me and we were talking on the telephone, and I was driving for a second, and he fussed at me about driving. He's from Senegal, from West Africa. He fussed at me about being in the car driving. I had pulled up to run to the store to get something for my students this morning. And he was, "Are you driving your car?" I said, no, Papa, I'm not driving. He said, "It looked like you was driving. I don't know. I don't want to see you driving and be on the phone at the same time." Yeah. But you're right. You're absolutely right. But we have to work at, in our families, in our, whether we our religious institutions or whatever, I don't care where you go. We have to start looking at culture. We have to start looking at what's important for us culturally. Because we've lost a lot of it because we wanted to be assimilated into something else.
Right.
We want to be integrated into something else. And it was bigger than just the moral objectivity that the United States had in the 60s when Dr. King made that statement about having a fear of leading us into a burning house. The immorality has always been there. And I guess maybe as much of a peaceful protester, agitator, as one of these other brothers, and I can understand it and I can agree to it. But you weren't going to get somebody to change their morality.
Right.
For what? It's worked for them all of this time. Why would I change anything to accommodate some other people that don't look like me that I don't want to be bothered with?
And and that's the problem. I think that's really the problem.
Yeah.
Like like I say, when you go look at the letter, I mean, just look at, use Flint as an example. How is Flint so divided when you got two clans? As you know, I'm just being honest with it being said. I don't care who be mad. You got Team Neely, and you got the former mayor and her team. It seemed like the former administration, Dr. Weaver with her crew that she got, Neely with his crew. You can see where the city is divided. You got team over here want this, want her in. His team want to keep him in. It shouldn't be that the blacks that's divided. When you looking at how is it divided when the goal is get the water fixed. You seeing people dying from cancer with water. I had two uncles.
Right.
Go how they went from stage 1 to 4 like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then you when we seeing and we fighting Over what again? Water not fixed. Coming April, it'll be 11 years.
Right. So if those are the two factions, then the people who they know are not going to say anything,
right,
should be saying something,
right.
But who's really pulling the strings?
See, that's the catch-22.
Because if that's the case, then things would be further along on multiple areas than before. Now, the other part that I look at is we got all this new construction going on around here, right?
Right.
So how bad could the water be?
No, you can see how bad it is.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's crazy. You seeing them billing, but when you seeing people coming down the council, like the man said, the good brother Rodney, when he said, man, when you turn the water on, it smell like feces.
You can still smell it.
Yeah,
you can still smell it.
And then when you seeing these people still saying like how bad the water do their skin, and you still have to pay for this, and I mean, it's like, but to me, I say this, and I know people gonna be mad, but I'll be watching different podcasts. I was watching this different one with I want to say the African Diaspora podcast, and because I be saying they got some of Flynn in there, and Tim Black had it with when Obama drunk the water. Like, so how can we be, and when you seeing Gretchen Whitmer going around, saying that the water is fixed, why you think the rest of the United States think the water is fixed?
Well, I mean, it's propaganda. But propaganda's been the tool for the persons who want to be in charge of things since people were able to write.
I mean, and that's what's so crazy. Like, we more worried about Trump in office, this Project 2025. Tell me, when has this government ever been for the people?
When the so-called founders of this country wrote the Constitution, they were not considering Native Americans, nor were they considering African people under the siege of war. I don't care what nobody says. Right. That 3/5 clause was just to make sure that Virginia wasn't in power as a city, as a state, to be able to go head on and control the House or the Senate or whatever part. So they wrote the 3/5 clause, the 3/5 compromise, so that you only counted African, because they were going to call everybody in order to get a larger number of people to go ahead on and vote or be on their side, so they can get a larger electorates or whatever they get.
Right.
So it's one of the, either the House or the Senate, where the more people you have in your state, the more people you can put in as representatives. So it's got to be House of Representatives. Right? But if we say, okay, in order to still allow you to be part of the vote, but we're going to count these people as 3/5, it's not 3/5 of a human, because they treat us less than human anyway. Right. So let's be real clear about that. But it's about, if we count them as 3/5 of a person, then the compromise is you still can't overload and have favor for you when we vote for the House or Senate, whatever party. Right. That's what the compromise was. So therefore, when people read it, they don't understand what they're talking about. They didn't say we count you 3/5 of a human. They count us less than human, number one. But because for political and monetary reasons, they counted as 3/5 of a person, so that you wouldn't overload what was going on in the House or the Senate, wherever Virginia would have been able to say, okay, now we can continue with slavery because we are more powerful here. That's what that's about, right? So we don't read anything. We don't read the city constitution or the city charter. We don't read the state constitution. We don't read these new laws that are coming out. They just coming out doing whatever, saying whatever, and the only time we pay attention to it if it affects us. We don't read the Constitution as it is and all the amendments and all the other stuff that's going on. So we're non-readers. We just want to respond and react to things.
Right. Because now that you just said that, I'm liking all these people tripping off, Trump doing this. What about what the city council did? Look how they slid rules in. That only the president, the vice president, or the finance chair who was chairing the committee to bring stuff on.
Right.
Y'all also worrying about Project 2025, and they can't even see how the rules been getting put down, rammed down their throat here.
Right.
I'm just saying.
And it's okay to be concerned about that.
Yeah.
But the other part about that is how are we educating and okay. Here we go with the glasses again. How are we feeding ourselves? Right? Mentally, physically, and spiritually. How are we feeding ourselves? It's okay to, Project 2025. Oh, okay, that's, what? Hey, man, did you eat today? No, man, I'm hungry. Okay, well, when you get through, slide through. I got some, you can come slide through and come and eat over at the crib.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's going to force us to deal with each other. Which is what it should do.
It is.
It's going to, but why do we have to wait until somebody we consider that we don't like in order for that to happen? Because the only time we respond to each other and care about each other is during a crisis.
Yep.
That's the only time. We don't respond nor care about nothing else until there's a crisis. Oh, I need you now, brother. Now, wait a minute. I've been telling you I was here.
See, that's the thing. That's why I be so frustrated, because it's like, to me, it's like it's a lot of playing going on. It's like they be playing right in your face. Then I give you an example. Hasselbrink.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Don't give me nothing wrong with it. And I put my face on it because I don't want them to say, for they can see who's saying it is me. My thing was, why did we even call that special meeting Monday for Hasselbrink when you knew you had to go to court Thursday?
Money?
No, what was the grandstanding when you only knew y'all folk was going to show up? The other ones wasn't going to show up.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Leon didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. It was needed, but it should have been did months ago when people was telling y'all. That's just like I said early on the month. I'm like, when Winters was coming on telling people, y'all need to do a press conference. How can we tell y'all what to do and we just some jack-offs that's doing starting to do a show on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
How can she be so knowledgeable telling you what you need to do, but y'all in these seats? Y'all going by people who not in the seats and telling you what you need to do.
Right.
And all we was hearing from, we can't do this, then find out you can call a special meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you called when they didn't show up. They weren't going to show up then if you would have called it then. What was so different from 4 months ago to now? Like, why would you know what I'm saying? It's like this stuff should have been did before the election.
If it was important. Because it's not, I'm quite sure that people that go to Hasselbrink and run Hasselbrink knew that it was important. So why didn't you make an issue about it a long time? And they might have. Yeah. They might have. I might have been missing it.
Right.
But they might have made an issue. Right. But that should have been talked about or heard about a long, long time ago.
No, it was, but I think they put so much into the election. Because I remember when Winters came on the show, she said, y'all better understand. She was talking to the Hasselbrink people then, First Ward. Mm-hmm. She said, Neely, gonna hold this up to after the election and make sure Leon get in. Then when he get in, y'all gonna really see. Mm-hmm. How did she become Nostradamus? You know what I'm saying?
She got it like that.
I'm just saying.
Right.
She was pleading with these people. Pleading, man. It broke my heart to hear the one brother came down there. He said, Leon, I voted for you. I gave you a chance.
But we never, ever go get the water hose until the house is burned down.
Yeah,
we like burning houses.
Man, I said they played this like, this was, as that used basketball analogy. They waited to the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. You didn't have a Michael Jordan. You didn't have a Kobe Bryant.
You didn't have no
You didn't have a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the sky hook. You didn't have nobody. You didn't have nobody that can go in and pull it in, pull that off if you're gonna play it this late.
Right.
If you're gonna play like this. I remember people was coming on, they was steady saying, I don't want to mess with the third ward. But see, with me saying this, I'm people gonna be mad. But it was the truth. They were so focused on the first and the seventh, they forgot. And then now, we at this stage in life, how do y'all don't know how to negotiate? How is stuff being passed when this mayor, he need he need, out of the 4 over here, he need one of y'all to pass anything. All he got is 4.
Right.
Y'all didn't know how to negotiate. No, y'all, you give us Hasselbrink. You give us back this contract with Hasselbrink, we'll do this.
Right. I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But that's because people don't, I'm going to say it again, they don't get the fire hose out until the house is burning down. And then now it's too late. So now where y'all going to go?
Yeah. That's why my mind be blue. I just be like, but, you know, if you say something about their hero, you're going to get in trouble. You know, you can't speak truth to power about their favorite person. You can't. If you go to calling out who they look perceived, like how I call out the mayor. A lot of people don't like that. They're going to be like, the mayor doing this, and that. I get it. But I'm looking at water still not fixed. And all we can say is, well, you know that ain't it. Yeah, it is a lot on him. You got his wife as the state rep.
But it can't be a lot on you if you got a cabinet. If you got a cabinet, then you delegate what is necessary to delegate in order to get things accomplished. Well, that's not difficult.
And that's why I say with that letter, it's like, how can you show up to the meetings on, you know, it's just, this whole thing, how the people being played, it's like, it's unbelievable. And it's like, you got a predominantly black city, I hate to keep saying that, predominantly black city that's divided amongst the black people.
Yeah.
That right there should wake anybody up.
Right, yeah.
Right now, Flint is a predominantly black city that is divided amongst
black people. And why is that?
Willie Lynch. If they telling me that letter not proof, shoot, just look at Flint. Just look at it.
Right. Look at you ain't even got to go that far. Look at your own family.
Oh, yeah.
You can look at your own family and tell. And see, you know, some people color struck, some people, she got this. And, you know, so therefore, the sickness permeates because we enjoy this. Yeah. We are comfortable, and I'm going to say it again, what I say before, we're comfortable in our oppression.
Right. No, we are.
Yeah, we're comfortable in our oppression.
Yeah, we are.
So even with this boycott, we're comfortable in it.
Yeah, because
we ain't talking about doing it for no long period of time.
Yeah, like
we're gonna force them to add some black people.
Yeah,
we're gonna force you guys to add black people. Okay.
If I gotta force you, see, this is what I hate.
Say what? Nope. You gotta finish before you say the other part. If I gotta force you, then what?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want it.
We shouldn't.
Yeah. If I
gotta force you to do,
I'll give you a prime example. Eric Bieniemy.
Yep.
Remember, he was offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City.
Why this brother couldn't get a job nowhere? Remember they said he had to leave Kansas City. He went to Washington. You know how that went.
Right.
The coach got fired. He was an intern. He got let go. Went to UCLA. He was offensive coordinator. He ended up had to be the intern when Chip Kelly left and went to Ohio State. Right. He out of a job. Now he back in the league. He a running back coach.
Right. For the Bears, I think.
You see where he had to go to. This dude had to leave, won 2 championships.
Right.
You don't see these other people have to do that. They'll be like, oh, no, let's give him no, we're going to give him, he good enough. That's why I don't want to hear. That's like they got the Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule is in the NFL that you have to hire, you have to not hire, interview
a certain number of blacks.
If that ain't the biggest crop in the world, I gotta make a rule when 90% of your league is damn near black.
Yep, that's true.
I gotta make a rule for you to hire to say a black coach need a chance.
And you ain't got to hire majority of black coaches. You got 32 teams, and you only got to, 3 or 4 or 5 of them get an opportunity, and that's it. That's like that one Super Bowl where Lovie Smith and Tony Dungy.
Yeah.
And you're talking about more of the coaches who are so-called making history as being 2 black NFL head coaches playing for a Super Bowl than you watch the game.
Yeah. That's just like how they're talking about 2 black quarterbacks.
2 black quarterbacks.
Doug Williams should have been blew that off.
Right.
Do you understand Russell Wilson, black quarterback, won the Super Bowl?
Right.
Where is it that we acting like it's such a big thing that a black...
And who did they talk about when Russell Wilson won? Pete Carroll, the coach.
Yeah.
They ain't talking about Russell Wilson. They talked about Pete. And then the one that they lost, who did they talk about? Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And the call. Yeah. But this propaganda though.
Yeah,
It's the same propaganda. If you win, you cheer for the white boy. But if you lose, it was because of the black boy.
I mean, but what do you expect when you don't have too many minority owners?
We don't have no minority owners.
So what you expect that? Right. What you expect? That's what I'm saying with this league. When you look at it, it's majority, and I know people are gonna be mad. No, it's majority white older men.
Yeah.
So how do you expect? You gonna tell me I own this team? This my money I put into it. Who I want as a coach? Who I gotta hire?
And I'm not getting off of who I want to have as a coach and who I want to hire.
Yeah, it's crazy when you see. Listen. The way Matt Patricia have destroyed the Detroit Lions, you would think he'd never get another job.
Yeah.
And he the defensive coordinator for the Ohio State Buckeyes right now. Being able, that's the acronym FBI, Friends, Brothers, and In-Laws.
Yeah.
How is he still able to keep making millions when he ain't? If you go look at his coach and look at the Lions.
Yeah.
That's what
the Lions coach.
But I'm saying, it seems like you can, certain people, that's what I'm saying with this DEI. I'm not knocking what it is, but who did it really help? See, they never want to tell the truth. Who did it help? That's like affirmative action. That was the new affirmative action DEI.
Right.
Look how many people they rolled up into it.
Right. Yeah.
That's just like with minorities. Look how many people are covered. Look who all get covered up under minorities.
Yep. But so DEI helped white women. That's number one.
Right.
It did not help do anything for people. For us, black folks, it didn't help us, hasn't helped us. And then with affirmative action, all we have ever been asking for is a level playing field. That's it.
Right.
So give me the same opportunity to take the same test, give me the same materials as this person got, and let it go with that. But that ain't what people want to do.
Let the chips fall where they
right. But so what they want to do, because I own everything, is I want to make sure that I'm always stay on top.
Right. And to me, it's like, if I give you an example, I'm showing you how to play chess.
Right.
If I got a 400-year head start on you,
yeah,
and I let you get in the game, I set the rules. Who the rules?
They gonna favor you for the longest until I understand either two things: either how to play within the rules, because you're always gonna change the rules, or if I to get off the table and create my own.
And that's the thing. It's just, to me, us blacks now, we don't have that mind. I ain't gonna say not all, some do, but back then you had the Negro League.
Yeah.
You had what you do. You get to see Ice Cube got the big three.
Right.
We don't understand the pressures that he coming through from the NBA. Like I say, only in our genre that blacks. I'm talking about the black community.
Right.
Only in us that when you get a certain age, you can't do this no more. Rock and rap. If you get 40, you too old. They don't look how long Mick Jagger been.
Mick Jagger is 87,394 billion years old.
Rolling Stone,
and he's still rolling.
And did you hear about him need to retire?
No.
Only with the genre, only in the black community we be. Well, it's time for you to step aside. Yeah. Everybody else, what they got going on.
Well, they didn't say that about Frankie Beverly till he got sick.
Yeah, but I can understand.
He was 77, and he was still, doing his thing.
Yeah.
Went on tour, and then passed away. If but at the end of the day, if we owned something,
facts,
then we'd have more power.
Right.
We don't own anything.
Nothing.
We work for somebody else, and even most of our so-called millionaires or whatever, who do they work? A very small percentage, but they either work for somebody else or it's a very small percentage, and they have to hire, because of the rule, other people that don't look like them.
Right. And that's what they ain't understanding. It's like we get wrapped up, we fight. We let our open enemies tell us what we need to fight for. Absolutely. What we should like and dislike.
Yeah.
We still on the plantation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anytime you can't figure it out for yourself, if a person got to tell you what to like, what to dislike, you ain't woke.
Because you're not thinking, and they don't want you to think.
Yeah, you ain't thinking for yourself.
No.
I love, don't get me wrong, I love Jasmine Crockett. The congresswoman.
The congresswoman from from Texas or somewhere?
I think, but the way they setting her up, the Democratic Party is like how she was trying to lump a lot of stuff up in there. When you lumping this up, a lot of stuff that she lumping up, you leaving something. Leaving certain things out, and I get the Democratic Party because why you think she getting all this highlight? Why you think she getting this? Yeah, because she's still gonna push that Democratic agenda.
Well, they have to. That's who elected you, and you want to keep your position.
Yeah,
you're not going to be talking about no revolutionary suicide where I'm not no longer, beholden to that agenda. I need to be able to make sure that you understand I got to eat. Yeah. And it's cool for us to feed each other. I don't have no issue with that.
Right.
The issue is when you eat, make sure we eat.
Facts.
When you eat, make sure we eat. Right. If we all don't eat, that's when it becomes a problem. And right now, we are not eating. Only a few people are eating. Oh, yeah. They're okay with that. Because guess who you got to lay down with when they call you?
Them.
You got to lay down with them.
Yeah, when you take the money because they don't know how to survive for themselves. They used to the way the system feed them.
Yeah.
That's why when they want to act like, oh, Democrats the only ones Republicans the only ones who's racist. Are y'all half-ass crazy? Man, that's how I be looking at them like.
Because it was before we started talking about the Republican. The only reason why black people voted Republican is because of Lincoln or because of Frederick Douglass.
Right. You know how long people didn't understand that. And when did they switch to Democrat?
They switched to Democrat probably in the 20s or 30s. Because of the New Deal.
Right.
Because of the New Deal. And that's the reason why they started to vote Democratic, because of the New Deal with Truman and whoever was the president, Roosevelt, one of the Roosevelts, who was the president then. And then Kennedy made it sound good. And so you had those presidents that made it sound good, like we're going to do something for black people, and they were Democratic. But,
in 64,
voting that Voters' Rights Act and Civil Rights Act. And then there was a Civil Rights Act, we still talking about some civil rights. Listen, I said this before. Oriental people, I saw 2 Oriental psychologists said this. If it wasn't for the sacrifice of black people,
right,
and all of this time, Oriental people would have absolutely nothing. And he said, I was like, whoa. I think I might have saved it. If I did, I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
And I want you to play it.
Okay.
But they said this, that if black people didn't make the sacrifices that black people made, and the death and the blood and the dogs and this, and the lynchings and all this other horrible, atrocious stuff that happened to black people, no other group of people would have nothing. Not the Hispanics, not anybody.
But yet we was on the bottom of DEI.
Yeah.
We on the bottom. Like I said, I've been watching all these people. I mean, there's so many fights, don't get me wrong. There's so many fights that we got.
Right.
But we still got our fight. I'm sick of us getting pushed to the back.
But you know how you stop the fight? We don't have to fight anymore if I make sure that you my brother and that you eat when I eat.
Right. But that didn't seem how it is.
No, because as long as we stay divided, guess what we asking for crumbs? Yeah. Why am I going to ask for crumbs and I can get a full plate at your house?
And that's why you need somebody that's going to be able to unite this city. You need a uniter. You cannot have a divider. This city not going, and right now they've been running off a divider. That's why you see the water not fixed, no protest, and you can see.
Yeah, and we can't even talk about that protest stuff because that's a bunch of foolishness in the first place, where people be protesting because they just want to wear out shoes, and you're really not interested in making nothing happen.
Got you. No, I'm with you on that. Because I'll be looking at it like, how did they have it together back then? And you can't get it to now. You saw the change that they made because you can ride on the bus.
Right.
You saw the change.
Yeah, but we also own stores.
Oh, yeah. Well, you had to give up something.
Right, yeah.
It was a trick to it.
Yeah. So and that was it. And that was the trick. Yeah. That was where integration cost us everything.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We lost our mind.
We lost our mind.
Right.
And the most interesting thing is
Zente, good evening, good brother.
All right, good evening, brother. How you doing? We're glad you're here. Is that we don't look at those things the way we should look at them, right? We don't look at, like, even with King's message and his awakening and understanding the moral objectivity of this country that you're trying to have us be part of, and sit at the table and sit there and eat at the table and all this other craziness. But then your message wasn't, hey man, pull out. Back up. We need to go back and start to try and buy our own stores. Because we had fully committed to being integrated.
Right.
And it was too late. It was bigger than just them being immoral people and we were going to be part of, we feared that we been led to this burning house.
Yeah.
It was bigger than that.
Yeah, yeah.
It was bigger than that because they had already, like I said, we talked about it. Cadillac come out in 39, in the 30s, and here they go. Who they pushing it to? Preachers.
Yeah.
Preachers first. If a preacher at one time didn't have no Cadillac, you wasn't preaching and you wasn't milking your congregation. I'm sorry. Your congregation wasn't taking care of you like they're supposed to.
Facts. Right. All the preachers was riding Cadillacs.
Every single one here around here for a minute. If you better not come up pulling up on a Sunday in a Buick, in a Deuce and a Quarter, which is better than a Cadillac. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Now, if you don't come rolling up here in a Cadillac, and we still hold on to that trend to this day.
Oh, yeah, when you get a Cadillac, just watch when a black man get some money. He going to get a Cadillac and the next thing going to be a Benz.
Man, them two, that's it.
Yeah, you going to get that Cadillac and that Benz.
Man, your people ain't taking care of you.
Bump his Cadillac and you damn near go to war.
Man, well, you better not even don't breathe on it. Man, can I look at, brother?
Yeah, he gonna ride. He gonna ride through. You know you gotta ride. He gonna burn more gas up riding through Flint.
Right.
Yeah, to show that he got a Cadillac. You gotta show the people that he didn't he didn't have.
I done arrived. I done found my heaven.
Yeah, he done found it.
Yeah. Man, brother, you too close to my vehicle.
Oh man, you think he
you done see him park out on the street on Center Road by Meyer before they park and let somebody get close to it.
Okay, Woodrow Green said Cadillac is the only car they would let blacks purchase back in the day. Stock market crashed. We didn't have money in banks, so we could pay for cars.
He's absolutely correct.
Right.
So it started in the late 20s, 30s. Cadillac comes into, they start making Cadillac brand a car, probably like 33, 34. Mm-hmm. And because he's absolutely correct. Because black people couldn't put money in banks. So when people was jumping off buildings because...
it's not to be laughed at. Yeah.
No, hey, it's funny. Because you bet on something else.
Yeah.
You bet on... See, during the World War I, that's when credit cards came about. Mm. That's when they started making credit cards. So it's all... Even with racism, it's about money.
Yeah.
Slavery's about money.
Oh yeah, everything.
All it's about money. The dollar's backing up and driving everything that's going on in it that has ever happened in this world, in this country. Especially when it comes to another society, not a culture, another society running stuff. Yeah. It's about money. So, black people were able to go purchase these cars with cash. Because you won't let me put no money in the banks.
Yeah, I'm pulling up with
this $2,000. Right. I'm rolling off the lot with it.
Right. Oh, you know they ain't like that.
Yeah.
All y'all do is go watch The Godfather. When you go watch The Godfather.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one. You know the scene I'm talking about.
You already know.
When he said you saw the niggas, they was riding up the Lenox Avenue. Yeah. Oh yeah, when I tell you they was riding their Cadillacs, that is real. That was probably, and so many people overlooked that. Yeah. When you go look at, when they talk about letting the drugs flow in. Yeah. What neighborhood did they say let them go in?
It was in Harlem.
Yeah, said let it go to the black neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you watch Bumpy Johnson, The Godfather of Harlem, you go watch episode 2. And then, you know what I'm saying, how they played it when you was like, I didn't care. The one time was like, he didn't care, let the drugs go in Harlem.
Right.
You know.
Said right answer.
Yeah. Rita said, right, Anna, we are the only group of people who came here against our will and had our families torn apart. That's why we lack shared values and a sense of unity.
No. We lack shared values and sense of unity because we refuse to understand what happened to us And then we don't want to go through the work in order to be unified in the first place, because we've learned to distrust each other than to trust each other based upon the fact that we share something that nobody can take from us, and that's our skin color.
No, but how can you really know who you is when you can see like your identity is lost. When you go by your name, your religion. We don't even know our God. Who we pray. We've been, I mean, like, we
you're right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And she's right to a degree.
Yeah.
But if you desire to want to know, then that's the God in you that wants you to know.
Yeah.
And that's something completely different than the God that you worship outside you.
Yeah.
And we talked about this before. Go back and check it out.
No, you're right. But I'm just saying, when you see this, and man, listen, sweep over a black folks' foot with a broom and see what type of problems you will get. We believe in spookism.
Okay, so if we, you know what? I got my mic is in the way. Listen, there's not spookism. That's true. I've been to Africa where they sweep the floor, and this what we call superstition. It's called superstition by Europeans. It was not called superstition by us. We may say something about somebody going to jail if you sweep my feet, but it was bigger than that.
Now, what about a black cat crossing?
That's because of the cat. Okay, so now let us get into a little bit of chemistry, right?
Right.
Melanin or carbon.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers, the atomic numbers for carbon is 666. 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons.
Mm-hmm.
What do they say that that's supposed to be biblically?
The mark of the beast.
The mark of the beast. Who do you think they're talking about?
It depends on what belief that you...
Don't matter. It's one belief. It's God.
Yeah.
The only group, we're the oldest group of people on the planet.
That part we is.
Okay. So therefore, there's absolutely no way, and I don't care who wants to try and defy me, there's no way you're going to find clay. If we talk about the very beginnings of how God created man from clay and all this other stuff, where you find white clay at? Come on, family. Where you find white clay? You ain't going to find no white clay nowhere. The clay is all going to be black. That's how even the color gray clay that you buy in the store is gray. And you only get gray from 2 colors, black and white. And it's dark. When you wet it, it becomes darker. 2 plus 2.
Then it goes back to something. It might be some separation somewhere. When you can create, so when they say the black man are the father of civilization.
Absolutely.
You can go with yes. That's what I'm saying. It all depends, you know.
Oh, if somebody's belief is that it's all the same and we all the same, that's insanity.
Yeah, but they don't. But they mix it up.
You know why? Because you want to make people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm not here to make you feel comfortable.
No,
if the black woman, her mitochondrial DNA of every black woman that's on here and every black woman in the world is 3.8 million years old, that's indisputable.
No, but you even go deeper than that. I'm gonna go with the black men and women of America. We can go mix with anybody race. Who race gonna come out?
It's still black. You still gonna be black.
But we the only ones that can go mix with everybody and get us back. But everybody can't go back and mix
with us and get them back. No. And from the woman's DNA, she creates every color.
Facts. Yeah, because I got some, man, if you seen my granny, like, listen, man, some of her people could have went down as white people.
Right.
When you seeing how light they was. I mean, I got some cousins that would, if you seen pictures, you'd have been like, man, that's a white lady.
Right.
I'll be like, nah, that's my...
I'm just saying. And it's not because of race mixing. No. It's the gene pool is so big that you'll get, all the time back in the day, down south, wherever, it'll be like, man, that ain't my child because the child come out light skinned.
Man, you could just have about 14 kids. Like, it was 13. Nah, they all have features, but you had some light ones, some dark ones.
Right,
You had some with good hair, like how my hair is. You had some with some thick, had some beady back there. You know what I'm saying? When you having that, you gonna throw out different types. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing gonna be the same.
It's not supposed to be.
Yeah, you gonna get different types. Like I say, I got 3 kids. They favor each other, but they all, you know what I'm saying?
Right, one light, one dark, one tall, one short.
Yeah, you gonna get all that.
My son is 6'4", 240. My dad was 6'3". My grandfather was 5'11". He's my height.
Yeah.
My great grandfather was 7'2".
See, like on my mother's side, I'm the short one, to be honest with you. My boy's taller than me. I think I'm like 5'10", maybe close to 5'11". My boy's 6 foot 6'1".
That's
like
what I'm
my
saying.
man was 6'2".
Right.
But you know what I'm saying. But my mama, my mama, mother, brothers was 6'4". They was big dudes.
Right.
But my grandfather was a little guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying.
But your great grandfather might have been a 6'6".
Nah, man, my grandfather's parents, man, they was consistent. Listen. Oh, this is my mama and daddy, man. My aunties used to say they thought they was midgets. they would, and then when you look at them, they looked like they was Germans.
Right.
Like
oh,
how
wow.
they was, yeah, it was
wow.
when they was black. Like
right.
if you see my you know,
right.
he was darker than me.
Right.
I mean, he was a little darker than me. Yeah, but that's just how it was when you see it. Like
right.
it was crazy because I think it was a full blood Indian.
Right. See.
But see, people don't know about black Indians. They just, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you got black Indians because you didn't have all of this cloud cover.
Right. So,
okay?
Yeah.
You have all this cloud cover. So you out in the sun 24, 25 hours a day.
Yeah.
You're going to get some color.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, and a lot of people came from the South. So you got to understand, like, especially when they came up here in the industrial fires to get the jobs in General Motors, you know how that is.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's like you say, the different phenotypes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might have, because some say, like, I favor some of my uncles, them. You know what I'm saying? Coming up. Different ones. Like, I ain't gonna lie, my cousin looked like my grandfather.
Right.
He started to favor more of my grandfather when I seen him as a young guy. He was 16.
Right.
Compared to now. I'm like, damn, cousin look like, you know what I'm saying, like our grandfather.
Right. So what she say?
Oh, she said, no such thing as good hair doesn't have personality. All things are good that were created in the presence of the mighty God. No, what I was talking about good, what I mean, and I'm not saying that, I'm just saying you had some people you can take a comb and go through it.
And some people
then
you can't.
It was like me, I couldn't get a Jerry curl coming up. I had cousins who could get it. My hair was rejected.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not saying nothing like they're just different phenotypes.
Right. Yeah.
I don't get caught up in none of that. I'm just saying you have some who have different grades.
Different grades of hair. Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's just facts.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got some you can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's just you know, like that's if people get caught up in that.
Right.
Like I don't get caught up in, oh, this person light, this person you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's in life, that's how it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you go back and look at it, they use colorism.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And we still do. So I don't people don't get it twisted, young people.
Like it's gone.
Right. No, we still do the same thing. We still do the same thing.
How many dark-skinned women do you be seeing they be grabbing for videos?
Yeah,
I'm talking about.
I would.
Yeah.
I'm just,
you would, but I'm saying, but what color do you see?
Right. Of course. You want something that goes, that matches something that somebody else likes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now we see Tims out there that she dark. They putting behind me, you see more fair-skinned and more lighter.
And Tim's is from Nigeria.
Facts.
And Tim said, I don't want y'all to even think that there's nothing going on with me because my parents don't play that. Yeah. So you don't see nothing. I ain't showing nothing. Ain't nothing happening. No, until I get married.
Called self-respect.
Yeah.
See, but when you
she comes from a culture that says this is how you're going to carry yourself, regardless of what you do.
Right.
So you don't see you ain't seeing nothing on her.
When do you see mainstream media start letting more women be half naked? The only ones who were saying.
Why? Because it sells. Sex sells.
Yeah, but more
for us.
Yeah.
Than it do for any of the rest of them.
Nah, it do. It just like, remember Madonna was who we was calling. You know, they had like Marilyn Monroe. You had certain ones, but as you saying, they started getting this more raunchier now.
Yeah.
Like we can just see it. You seeing like, even with Beyonce with her daughter, I'm not trying to get it, but that young age wearing makeup.
Yeah.
Outfits that they wearing. When we seeing how these entertainers are letting their daughter, but it ain't just the entertainers. What about the mamas here when you seeing your kids graduating 6th, 7th grade? Getting ready to go to high school. Have you seen some of these outfits that they
Man, what? I've seen them and fuss about it all the time. My dad didn't like that phase either.
Yeah.
Good.
Clothes is all good, brother, because I do that.
Okay, yeah, all right. All right, family, we'll be back on Sunday, right?
Facts.
Okay, so please take a moment today, and we appreciate you all. Yeah, we have been a lot, but that means, let me say this, and then we're going to close it out. Yes, we've been through a lot. But that also makes us the strongest people on the planet. We just have to recognize that. Okay, and on that note, pay homage to Dr. Huey P. Newton. Pay homage to Brother Minister Malcolm X. And we'll be here Sunday, 1:30.
1:30.
All right. All right, fam. Yeah, I'll make sure. Because we have school today. So that's what it is. But 1:30 on the dot. All right. Be here. All right, fam. Peace.